vocabulary number 4. So before anything else, I would like to drink milk. Okay. To enhance my vitamin D and calcium levels into my system. Oh, okay. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. This is your content creator, Sutero. Junjun English Zero. We are now in our fourth or vocab 4. Okay. Wait. So I wanted to list all this in a blank sheet of paper. By the time you will use it, then you can comfortably use it. Okay, because you have now an idea, okay, how to use it in a particular sentence, right? So this could help you a lot if you will make your feasibility studies, essays or writings, or if you try to join in a political contest if you are students today, okay, or public speaking, you're invited as a guest speaker in a particular important event in your locality and your place, and then you try to give an opening remarks or a closing remarks in a particular program, right? And then you are also trying to conduct a meeting in which the medium of instruction is English, particularly in the university, things like that. Okay, because a lot of professionals will be there in the academic, okay, in this institution, right? It sounds also awkward if I kept on talking in Bisaya, right? So we know how to apply English and we know how to apply Bisaya also in case-to-case situations, right? Okay, things like that. Okay, so normally our comment will be done in English, but why we cannot speak in English? In social media, that's my question. Our comments are too lengthy, as if very convincing, things like that. Then if we try to talk in our day-to-day life, we don't talk even in English. What's the reason? It's not balance, right? So it has to do something with the imbalance of our English language ability. Okay. One missing is the language assessment in your part. So you miss the other, modules or categories in English for specific purposes. You are now using only the English for general purposes, the EGP. So ESP is more comprehensive rather than EGP because EGP aims more on the grammar, okay, and language structures. If you're studying the, let's say, noun, pronoun, adjective, things like that, punctuation. But for ESP, English for specific purposes, you need to deal with writing, speaking, listening, and also, writing, speaking, listening, reading. Okay? Things like that. I rumbled it out. Okay, get the point? Things like that. Because ESP aims more on language in context. And language is broad. Get the point? Come on. Things like that. Okay. And I will be discussing later the different parts of ESP application, but never mind, let's discuss first this. Okay, get the point. Disclaimer, I'm not an English teacher, but I just love English language. The point. Okay. But before that, before we start this particular vocab number 4, I need to drink milk, right? Okay, because nowadays, I'm not frequently going to the cricket oval or the outdoor environment. I always walk once in a while only, but I was not really exposed to the heat of the sun, meaning to say I don't fortify myself with enough levels of vitamin D, right? Because the sun is the largest source of vitamin D. It's not the food we eat, based on research. Okay. So the more you expose yourself in the heat of the sun, the more your bones will become healthy compared to those who are inside the room and doesn't go outside. So these people that inside in their rooms needs to eat plenty with vitamin D. For example, milk, drink milk, fish, eggs. Okay, like that. Okay, get the point. And all vitamin D fortified supplemental food. Okay, things like that. Supplemental food meaning the vitamins, the capsules, like that and everything. Get the point? For their maintenance. Then if you need free vitamin D, wake up early, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, expose yourself in the heat of the sun. Then at that time, you gain vitamin D. Wow, okay. Nakakalo. Okay, guys. Wow, I love this! Okay. Now, I'm not promoting, I'm just telling you that my milk, I'm an avid consumer and customer of Anlene. If you see this in the malls, then better choose Anlene rather than the Nido. Nido, Nido, and the birch tree, right? And there's a lot of milk, right? But this is more good. Okay, Anlene, low fat. That's the first thing. Okay, so high calcium. Third, source of vitamin D. And then also whey protein. The protein found also in the milk. In this, okay, and also rich in magnesium. Magnesium purpose is to have a very clear and smooth skin, not dry. So that's the function of the magnesium as a mineral in our body. So to avoid wrinkles, to avoid spots in our head as we grow older. So by the time we grow older, we have that, right? Then the more you drink milk, then it will be lessened or reduced. Okay, listen, Lessened, by word less. So lessened. Okay, things like reduced. Okay, things like that. And then we have also here, omega. Wow, omega fat, good for the heart, for our circulatory system. Oh, for the pumping of oxygen and other nutrients, right? In order for us to become healthy. I love it. What else? Oh, what? Okay, wait, huh? Oh, applicable in all ages. Even though you are 1 year old to 100 years old, Anlene milk is applicable compared to other milk brands that have specific, right? From 2 to 5 ages. The ranges of the age are mentioned. So if you try to drink that one, it's not applicable for you because the nutrients are adequate for these ages only. You get the points kasi we don't have like the Bonakid. Don't tell me you'll drink Bonakid. So things like that. So this kind of milk is really for all ages. I love it. So from now on, grab your car to go to the city and purchase Anlene milk. So disclaimer, I'm not a promoter, an endorser, I'm not a product endorser of Anlene. Okay, I'm just telling the truth. Okay, things like that. I love it. And then plus factor is low fat. Okay, but the taste is just the same like a milk, of course. Right? Okay, so this is my favorite talaga shot. Okay, that's why I don't drink vitamin C, capsule. So I'll never try vitamin C in my entire life since 1 year old up to now. I'm very proud of that. And I'm the only one also, I think, there's also others have. I don't have maintenance at this age. I don't have maintenance with the same. In order for me to become healthy. Okay. I don't have high level of uric acid and everything, things like that. I don't have high sugar, whatever. Because I control a lot. Okay? Things like that. I have discipline. In fact, I don't drink coffee with sugar. But I can drink coffee, 3-in-1 coffee. At least I don't see the sugar. It doesn't mean that I hate the sugar by my eyes, but it looks like, things like that in myself. I cannot resist. Sometimes maybe I keep on drinking talaga siya. So once you stop it, they never attempt to see it again. Just have that out from your side so that will not be tempted. You get the point? Just like your attraction with the one you love like that, and they are not accepting your, courtship. Nanguyab mo, usog ta. Things like that. That's courtship. Cortship. Am I correct? Court. Right? Is that the right term? Okay, things like that. Okay, so let them out of yourself from a while because it really hurts. Wow. So things like that also. Because there are sometimes that you need to drink. Yes, up to now, I really want to drink coffee with, coffee made and with sugar. But, I really stopped it. Absolutely. Okay. And that now I can drink this milk, right? Okay. So you have so many things being curtailed, C-U-R-T, meaning I already out that from my food intake, things like that. But I cannot also deny there are salty tastes, right, in the food. They put salts, right? As long as in my kitchen, I don't have salts and I don't have sugar. Alas. But if the taste of the food, served by the canteen and then of course it's okay because I don't see the actual appearance of the salts and the sugar. This is me really, just like my singing. When I'll sing, I don't drink cold water, things like that. When I'll sing, I don't eat chocolates. I don't eat sweet food. Okay, so it is a matter of discipline, things like that. You get the point? So I need to take care of my voice, the quality of my voice, right? Too much for that. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, I love it. So I will teach you some words also, so that you can apply that in your day-to-day life. It's unfamiliar, but when the situation calls for, you can use it also comfortably, right? Oh my gosh, I love it. 1, 2, class, 3, 4. Okay, class. Okay, hello, class. Guys, I love to be a teacher in the kindergarten. I got to think, I love to become a teacher in the kindergarten class. Okay, hello class, good morning. Like that, right? So our lesson for today is all about, okay, okay. Now, I already poured the the powdered milk inside the mat. And I will pour the water. Okay, hot water. Please ganun talaga siya guys. Hot water. You need to eliminate the T because that is it's in the, in the last, okay, in pronunciation. Nakakaloka. Nako. Hot. Hot. Oh, it's very hot. Just like a bean, right? It's very hot. Okay, my gosh. I love this, really. Okay, just to stay straight, I don't have breakfast, I don't have lunch. Okay, then why I sustain? Because I replaced that with pears. P-E-R-S, and apple, and banana, and lemon. Okay, things like that. I don't eat carbohydrates today. Maybe after 8 o'clock. I don't have fasting, but I need to discipline myself. Things like that. Okay, that's the point. So I'm very happy that in the morning, I weighed 66 kilograms. Oh, but I have chocolates inside the refrigerator. But I will only eat that once in a week. Right? Okay. Because I crave for that. Then maybe next year I will totally eliminate, because 3 years and a half I don't eat chocolate exclusively. Really, I don't eat chocolates. Okay, and then I crave in an instant manner. That's why I bought chocolates. Okay, and then it's inside my refrigerator. But still, I have discipline. I will only eat that only once in a week, things like that, or 2 times a week, things like that. So I still have to do the discipline also. Charis. Okay, look at point. Okay. I'm afraid with our, genetic factor, or, the hereditary traits, or in our family offspring, right? Or family history, or family background with regards to the health and the build of our body. Because we always get fat easily if we keep on eating. So it's gonna be the genetic factor. It's no longer sometimes the how you eat excessively, things like that. Okay, and then also maybe I'm not really that sure. Okay, maybe I don't have a fast metabolism, things like that. Okay, because if I will eat the rice, in the next morning it will increase my weight. It's very impossible. What's happening for this? Oh, it looks like very strange in my part. And that's only my part. Okay, so let's drink milk and then milk. Okay, by the way. Okay. Oh my gosh. I love this. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh, really. Oh, it looks like this almond milk. It's only for the hot, drink. It's not in the cold drink. But since this is the case, I will buy the milk that is low-fat milk, which is the Almarai, things like that. But I need to do that only 1 or 2 in a month. There's always frequency. I put that in my notebook. Just how strict am I am in my, in my regular habit of food lifestyles. Okay, things like that. I always put the frequency like that. Okay, very particular. Right? And I also maintain my steps. Every day I have to maintain 6,000 steps, equivalent to 150 kilocalories burned in a day. So that's why I'm rarely doing my jogging, because I replaced that with, walking 6,000 steps in a day. But sometimes I will also jog, just like in the morning. I did the 12 rounds of jogging, okay, in the cricket oval. But if I walked tremendously, then I don't let myself to jog, because I don't want to pressure myself. Because guys, exercising is not pressuring yourself. It's really continuous. Okay, you do it continuously from your heart. Not really you do that because you want with your friends to walk along with them, just to have a conversation. Okay, just okay, because you need to be happy for the socialization. But what I'm trying to emphasize, real exercise, it doesn't really need somebody. You can continue that by yourself alone, because that is your own health. You get the point. So the more you will engage to others also, then you will say, I don't want to go now because I don't have other people with me. So it's not really a good exercise. You get the point. So you are dependent on your company. Somebody will be with you, and if there's nothing with you, you will never do the exercise. What's that? Okay, so it looks like futile. So it's good to have company also, but it doesn't mean like that when you do the exercise. You get the point? And it should be continuous. It should not necessarily be a long time, as long as it is consistent. You get the point? For example, if you do it in 30 minutes only, okay, as long as you do that every thrice a week, like that, and you will never miss a week. Okay? Because the only problem here is the maintenance in doing this particular, activity that improves your immune system. Okay, health immune system, nakapalo. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, now, so I have here inexorable. What do you mean by inexorable? The spelling is Inexoradle. Meaning this is very impossible to stop, impossible to control, impossible to prevent. So, for example, for instance, okay, we have potential accidents that will be happening in the road. We cannot stop this automatically, or we cannot stop this absolutely 100%. Okay, things like that. But we need to be extra careful on how we drive, we control our speeding, and we follow the traffic rules and regulations if we are in the main road. Not only in the main road, also in the cross section, in the turnabout, runabout, things like that. So, because these things cannot be stopped. You get the point? So it's always like that in the whole world. It will be kept on coming. But the more we are safe, the more it will be far away from us. You get the point? So that is inexorable, cannot be stopped, cannot be prevented. Okay, things like that. Okay, so for example, incident and accident, things like that. Okay, that's what else? The changes in the weather. Okay, we cannot also prevent, we cannot also stop, right? So as what we like. So what tomorrow cold. That's the season is not cold. So you get the point. It's so inexorable. You get the point. Another thing also is you try to be brave even though you are not brave. Things like that. Or for example, if you are trying to be intelligent but you are not intelligent. Things like that. And then you cannot stop it, right? Because that is your character, that is your personality, things. Oh, you're inexorable, things like that. Because it becomes your habit, even though that is not the really you, the real you. Just because of the purpose of the surroundings around you, you need to be impressed that you are really a good speaker, an intelligent person, things like that, and then eloquent like that. But it's not. That's why you memorize a lot, study a lot, okay? And you forget also the philosophy that if you want that, then you should do it in a normal situation. Okay? Normal. You don't have to study, you don't have to script, you don't have to prepare. Do it on the spot to calibrate and to gauge your fluency. Okay? Just like vlogging, things like this. Okay? I'm just wake up and do the vlog without any preparation because it's stuck on your mind. You get the point, and it's up to you how to have a connected speech by talking in interactive way of communicating to your audience in an online world. Things like that. You get the point? That's the real measurement of true intelligence. It's not through preparation. It's okay to prepare when there's an examination, but on the spot when somebody asks you, when somebody let you compute and calculate the density of arsenic, mercury, then you can solve. For example, that you graduated in 2010, and today is 2023, and somebody tested you out because you are saying you are a registered mechanical engineer, you are a registered electrical engineer, but out of the sudden, simple questions you cannot answer, and you say, I will still review. Right? So we have to say, your knowledge is not accumulated and retained and engraved into the hippocampus part of your brain. You're just learning that to have good grades. You're just learning that to pass the examination. Okay. Young students, pupils in front of you right now, you need to study in order for us to, apply that in our day-to-day life. You get the point? It's not only merely by having good grades, it's not only merely to pass the grades and to impress our parents. We will really study and learn so that we will be improved, to be matured, and we can use that knowledge in our day-to-day life until we finished our education. Meaning to say that knowledge and learning will not stop in school. You get the point? It's continuous process. Okay, knowledge and learning is a continuous process. It's a cycle until we die. You get the point? So even up to the last minute, and you are in the hospital and your nephew or your niece will ask you what is the formula of, let's say force, you can still answer with them without any notebook, without any books. And this is really the true knowledge. It's not bookish. Of course, you will learn from the books, but you will try to implant that into your brain as the years goes by. For me, really, no, this is really the real knowledge. It's not all about the fame, the popularity, the summa cum laude, the cum laude, the honor students, the certificates, or whatever. It's really, you really apply into your real life the knowledge that you gained from your education. And an example to that, meaning you still have that in you. I'm not trying to say to remember everything, but at least you have the basic foundation of your learning. For example, if you are a mechanical engineer, you have still the basic concepts about mechanical thing. If you are a chemical engineer, you have still the basic concepts about chemistry, about physics. Then if you are a nurse, then you have still the basics of how to nurture properly the patient in the hospital, the proper methodologies, how to assist the doctor after his prescription, things like that. You get the point. So that will be beneficial, right? And in that way, we will be accomplished and very happy with our own self. Oh, it's really like success instantly into our life, right? Oh, right? Too much talking. Number 2, anosmia. What is anosmia? Guys, guys, if you follow my vlogs, you'll become crazy. You will be fortified with a lot of vocabulary. Things like that, English language, science, like that. You cannot expect me to dance and show to you my, my penis and everything. You get the point? Things like that. I'm trying to be straightforward, sorry for that. Only joking, but what I mean in my vlog is not shallow. What do you mean by shallow? Anybody can do. Okay? For example, I will dance. Other people also can dance. But if you do the vlog like this, does anybody know to vlog like this all? So this is what we mean of knowledge, that not everybody can really deliver. You get the point? So you establish uniqueness and rareness apart from the others. Though everybody is unique, but we need to establish uniqueness just to let people also learn what you learn. Ganon. O, di ba this as sharing of information? Nakakaloka, no? Academic information. I am more in the academic kasi, guys. Get the point? Okay, because I was really nurtured. Well, nurtured. Okay, I love the word nurtured. Okay, you get the point. So, anosmia meaning it's in science, medical science. This is the loss of your smell. For example, if you are a suspect or a prospect that you have as COVID-19, then one of the identification, you lose your smell. You lose your taste. So losing your smell is anosmia term in medical science. And I would say apply that in your day-to-day life. Oh, I have an anosmia. I cannot really distinguish the smell. Somebody said that our room is very obnoxious or have a bad smell. But for me, I don't really discover that. So meaning you have an anosmia. Okay, so number 3, asphyxia. Okay, what is asphyxia? Okay, if you have an asphyxia, that is the result of asphyxiation, the process of asphyxiated. Okay, so when you are in the process of asphyxiation and you are asphyxiated, then what's responsible that you are asphyxiated? What is responsible that leads you to become asphyxiated? Okay? So it's gonna be the process of suffocation. You are suffocated by the content of, let us say, an inert gas called nitrogen. So it will explode. No, it's not explosible because it is exposed, to the environment, and then you really absorb that into your system by smelling or inhaling. Then problem, you will be suffocated and barren, or the next will be you suffered from asphyxia. So meaning, a special meaning, the loss of oxygen or the consumption of oxygen from your respiratory system or the lungs. Again, asphyxia means the loss of oxygen or the consumption of oxygen from, take note the preposition, from the respiratory system and the lungs. Okay, things like that. Okay, that number 4, aphoxia, somewhere related. Now I'll teach you a little bit the clue so that we can understand how to manage in having our own definition in English German. It could help a lot in facing examination. I tell you honestly, trust me, if you really know how to break the root word and understand it properly, then you can make your own definition even though without memorizing the definition in the dictionary, in the Google search, or encyclopedia. Trust me, though it's not perfect, but it can help you to analyze. You get the point? Things like that. So you break down the terms because some words are combination of two words. You can easily understand, right? Take the root word, first understand it clearly. But the problem in here only, you have a drawback in here because if you don't have wide vocabulary, that's the only thing. But it's still the same story. You have to do this. Okay, get the point, whether you have a high level of vocabulary or not, the same thing, you need to take the root word like that, the prefix, the suffix like that, okay, so that we can understand. Especially prefix. Through prefix, you can understand what it means. You get the point? That's in English. Okay, like that. Okay, drinking also milk, guys, will improve your memory. Okay, why it will improve memory? Because you increase your choline level. The choline nutrient is responsible for increasing your memory, things like that. Then it will be also collaborating with the cobalamin protein, the vitamin B12. Okay, the cobalamin protein, vitamin B12, comes from the milk or comes from the protein we eat day by day. Nakakaloka. Okay, so it will add our vitamin B12. Okay, because the function is to keep healthy our neurons and our brain cells. So if our neurons and brain cells are healthy, so it will help a lot. Okay, to register the data, the memory and everything in our brain, right? So instead of drinking soft drinks, drink milk. The more you drink milk, the better. The only drawback meaning the disadvantage, the wrong things like that, the effects of the bad effects to our health. That's drawback, huh? The disadvantages, the bad effects, the side effects. So to make it good in word, so one word only can say drawback, right? So things like that. Okay, the only drawback of drinking too much milk is it will increase your fat level, FAT. Okay, the more you have the lipids, the lipid family in your body is too much high, then it will intensify to cholesterol later on. You get the things like that, huh? You get the point, ganon. But if you know how to manage yourself, then you can do exercise like that, physical activities, washing the clothes, okay, running, cycling, walking, or you can do another thing that involves physical. Okay, writing, reading, making an email, talking with the phone are not enough. These are not healthy because that's only very minor, okay? you don't have to burn calories by that actions. So that's why if you are very fat and you are in the office, be careful. Okay, because your activities are not doing physical activities. You are not searching your parts of your body is there. So then you drink 4 times milk or 3 times milk. And your work only is in the office. And when you go home also, you don't do anything. Sleep, watching TV, watching movies. You don't even expose yourself in the oval to walk at least 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, at least. Okay, even though you will not losing your calories, but at least you need to maintain the proper flow of your blood, the circulation of your blood. Okay, the rate of your blood flow will be enough or adequate. So it will be okay. It doesn't mean only that we need to be slim, we need to have the abs. It's not like that. To be healthy, it's not like that the objective. At least you have a very good circulation of your blood flow. You can breathe properly. So walay kutas ba? Things like that, okay? Because you know what I mean. And then you need to manage your weight. Okay, how to manage? Measure your weight consistently. Me, I bought a weighing platform just to maintain my weight because in WHO website, they said the first thing to do is to manage your weight so that you can adjust whether you will do exercise, a little bit nap, eating a lot, a little bit. So the only way is to manage your weight. Okay. Because not all the times also we go to the doctor, to the hospital to manage our blood pressure. That's also good one time in a month, things like that. But sometimes also we are tired in going to the clinic like that. And the most convenient really is to have our own weighing platform, things like that, or weighing scale to manage our weight. Okay, and then eat smartly. Well, eat smartly, and then this is my problem because this is part of a good health, but this is very difficult for me. Have enough sleep. Of all the healthy lifestyles mentioned there, out of 10, this is the most difficult part I could not follow 100%. Adequate sleep. I have the relaxation and the rest, but sleep talaga. Sleep is what they mentioned there. You have to close your eyes. Rest is only like that, not necessarily closing your eyes, right? But it's not enough. They said sleep talaga siya. Adequate sleep, enough sleep, or you have to sleep early. Very difficult for me, guys. You need to at least have 5 hours to 8 hours. Well, very difficult for me, really, because I keep on studying at night. Not studying, reading, like that. It looks like studying already because I can remember things like that, and then so through that I can also refresh my knowledge from college. Then I can collaborate that with my stock knowledge, with new knowledge. Then it will become a solid knowledge. Right? The combination of the stock knowledge, the acquired knowledge, and the new knowledge will become your solid knowledge. Nakakaloka. Okay, get the point, things like that. Okay? Okay. Aphoxia. What is aphoxia? Aphoxia is very dangerous. It will lead you to die if you have this. Okay. So, asphyxia can be treated immediately by first aid treatment. And so, but the moment you have aphoxia, you need to be quick in responding because it is the loss and consumption of this oxygen from your blood. Not the lungs, but from your blood. So that's very, very dangerous. Imagine the oxygen from your blood will be lost, and then how can it be transported, the nutrients, to your vital organs, especially the heart? Oh. So it takes only seconds, I think, if you have aphoxia. Right? Imagine every second, every minute, the heart will the blood with oxygen and nutrients in the blood, like that. That's why we have this low density lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein, because this is the function of cholesterol to transport all the nutrients, okay, into the blood, and will go to different vital organs. If we don't have cholesterol, we will also die. Okay, but the problem is we have too much cholesterol. That's the problem. We have more rather than too much less. Just like sugar. The low sugar content is not an issue. Always higher sugar is an issue. The same also with cholesterol. What's the reason for this? Because we eat normally rice, dili alatul, all high carbs. That's why there's no chance of hypo thing. What do you mean by hypo thing? Meaning to say, if you have high blood pressure, you say hyper hypertension. Now, the reverse will be low blood pressure. That is hypo. Hypo. When you mean hypo in English, hypo means low. Okay. Since you have low blood pressure, you will say hypotension. Hypotension is the opposite of hypertension. Hypertension is high blood pressure. Hypotension is low blood pressure. So if you memorize the meaning of hypo and hyper, then bingo, you can understand all the words that have hyper and hypo in medical terms. So hyperglycemia, hypoglycemia is very understandable that it is basing on the glucose level, because glycemia stands for the glycemic level in your body. If you have glycemic value, then chance is you have too much cholesterol because you are hyperglycemia. The opposite, hypoglycemia, things like that. You got the point? Ganon. Then, there are other terms that cannot apply that one, that would only help to understand. Okay? So, for example, and this is not already medical science. If we're talking about chemistry, we have also tonic, right? We speak of toning something, a solution, let's say a colloidal suspension. Let's review chemistry a little bit. Okay, let's say colloidal suspension, like that, solution, like that, or let us say a colloid, things like a suspension, things like that. Now, we will say tonic. Tonic meaning is to concentrate. So tonic, we mean concentration is involved there. Okay, we say hypertonic, hypotonic. So hypotonic, less concentration. Hypertonic, high concentration. So the only term you understand there is the word tonic. And bingo, we can understand how to apply the hyper and the hypo. This is, a basic way in learning to have knowledge. Sometimes it will not be taught in the school. It depends on individual, right? Nobody teach me how to do this. It's just a matter of common sense. Through reading a lot, like that, you can encounter different views, right? In a certain column, long passages, in an article, in the books, like that. So, since I always am reading, I can also grasp new things like that. Okay, not necessarily it comes from the teachers. So we need to say, subjective again. I don't have to force you. Okay, we need to say, if you are a wide reader, there's a chance you have more knowledge compared to those who did not read a lot. You get the point? Because reading digestion is fast compared to the visual comprehension based on the research in the website. When you see a movie, you can remember, but it's not really the same as reading, that you can digest immediately the words, the punctuations, the phrases, like that. Okay, so it's good to become a wide reader than a good viewer, a good watcher. So things like that. So even though you research a lot all over the world, you can never say the more you watch movie, the more you will become intelligent. Did you hear somebody saying that? So the more you read, the more you have knowledge. It's reading talaga siya, guys. You get the point? It's not even speaking. Okay. To become a wide reader is the source of all knowledge. Because speaking is just only the application on what you read and what you saw. You get the point? That's why you speak properly, because you have already the knowledge after reading, after watching, things like that. But I'm trying to compare the reading and watching. So reading is effective in terms of knowledge empowerment compared to just watching something. I'm not telling you that you don't watch movies or like that. I'm just telling the truth that this is based on the research from the scientists. Okay. I will not fabricate my own, of course, no. You get the point? So that's why I always tell you to verify, to of course examine every word that came out from my mouth. You go to website or whatever, double check, okay? Things like that, so that we can have consensus. We have the same consensus. Okay, you get the point. So, ano siya? Excrement. What is an excrement? Wow. So, take note. With the prefix X, EX, students, pupils, like that. If you see EX in the English terminology or a word, that means outside, external. Okay, away from the source, away from the reference. So what it means of X. Now, if it will be put in different words, you have no idea that it's outside. Right? So now you look for the root word now. You get the clue, things like that. For example, if I have exothermic, exo, then outside, right? You get the point. Now, thermic, so it has to do something with thermodynamics. There's heat involved. When you said thermal or thermal, that means heat, right? So, heat plus outside. So, what do you mean that? So, we need to say, the heat is being released to the surrounding from the source. You get the point? So, let's say A and B. The A is your source of heat. Now, since it's X, so it will be away. It will be released. It's out from the A, which is your reference. So, it will be given to the B, which is your surrounding. That's why the surrounding will become hot. So, we need to say, if the summer season is an exothermic weather, meaning very hot. Okay, so if you take also the reverse, that's also endothermic, meaning the surrounding, the place is very cold. Why? Because endo also is in. You get the point? In. Now, our reference will be the source. So we have A, B. When the source also, okay, the source also release the cold, okay, then it will become in the surrounding, right? Because accepting, meaning in. So meaning to say endothermic, so it's become cold. You get the point? Things like, and you will never interchange that somewhere along the way in your calculations, especially in the topic of industrial stoichiometry. Chemical calculations involving quantitative analysis of different chemical reactions involved. Things like that, different processes all over the world. Okay, in terms of producing products, whether it is solid, liquid, and a gas. You get the point. Okay, now we have excrement. I failed to define first now because I kept on talking. Okay, now excrement meaning effluent, discharge. Okay, you get the point. So meaning it's on the outside. Effluent, discharged, and it's also mean sewage or wastewater. Why? Because this wastewater and sewage is the last part of the process cycle of a factory or a company. In the process, for example, you are producing benzene, you are producing cement, you are producing petrochemical, but the wastes, treating the wastes will be the last process in the company throughout the business health of your, of your business. You get the point? It's the rest, it's the last rest to be assessed. The waste, okay? Because it started from the input, output. Of course, the waste will be the last. It's impossible also. You will have to deal first the waste. So it's not good, right? Then you have to treat that so that it can be usable again. It can be recycled again. That's why treatment. Means not necessarily will be disposed 100%. Sometimes we need also to take some of it to be useful again in your process. Or else, the definition of wastewater is not treatment. You will say wastewater disposal. But since you are saying wastewater treatment, then there's a chance if some of it will be recycled, some of it will be reused, will be useful in your process again. Okay? So English will matter in the understanding of the whole context, whether it is process or not. So it's an advantage if our English language is very strong. You get the point? Things like it could not be denied really all over the world if your English language is strong. So you can really interpret, especially questions phrased in English or stated in English all over the world. Even in the company, within our place, Cebu, whatever, in one of the islands in the Philippines, 7,107 islands in the Philippines, and one of it is Cebu, still the examination are written in English. Right? So, supposedly, we should not write in English. In Bisaya all, the examination. Then what's the purpose? Meaning, we're training our young generations to become world class. Again, we are training our young generations to be world class. In case of emergency, the government will fund them to become scientists to improve the economy of our state. You get the point? And then to become world class, then the international English knowledge should be used because it's the universal language. This is the language agreement of 193 countries in United Nations or all over the world, things like that. Get the point? So that's why. So let's eliminate the perception of saying we need to be patriotic, ang hindi marunong bumahal sa sariling wika. Okay, o sige, mahalin mo yung sariling wika, and then after graduation, you will be interviewed in English. It looks like kasi it's not matching. Before you advocate a certain policy or a program, shout out to all Department of Education, okay? Before you really have the policy and program, ensure that it must be aligned what is existing nowadays. Okay? It's not only saying just because of our culture, we need to change because of this. Okay, we should not limit ourselves in one particular area because no one is an island. In fact, Philippines is not only the country in the whole world. There's 193. There's a collaboration. There's allies. There's partnership in terms of exportation and importation of the products to improve our gross product per capita. Okay, things like that. Our GDP, okay, gross domestic product, things like that. Then if we don't have, partnership, then our country will become poor. Then how can we do that? To train our, our citizenry that they are also good in English in the first place, because power of talking is very important outside our country. Things like that. We should not limit that. We need to talk Filipino always, like that, and they limit already the English subjects. Me, I'm against for that. They try to reduce the English subjects. That's why our people are not grammatically correct when they do speaking, and they cannot even speak well in public speaking. Only few out of them, I think 2 or 3. Like that, but very good in written only. You get the point? Written. Solving 100, perfect. Like that, memorization, perfect, like that. But talking, nga. You get the point? Things like that. You get the point? So we need to improve that because this is really needed. Okay? To convert our knowledge into actions is we need to be good in speaking, in communicating. Things like to voice out that all over the world that we can really change the world for the better. So number 6, recuperating. Things like, what do you mean by this? Okay, shout out para sa akong English teachers sa Naga National High School. Ma'am Caliete, Ma'am Alferez, and the late Sir Dios. Sir Dios is our coach in journalism. Okay, and then Sir Lumar also, our coach in speech choir in my high school days, in Naga National High School, things like that. Okay, I'm very thankful to all of you. Okay, and Sir Dios and Sir Lumar is now in the heaven, so I still, emulate the way how they taught English in me or to the rest of my classmates, things like that. Okay, so when I talk like this, I always remember Sir Lumaran, because he is the first, teacher that taught us how to have proper enunciation and stressing of the words in the syllables, things like that. Power, things like that. You get the point? So colony, things like so. Where to stress? First syllable, second syllable, or first syllable. Sir Lumaran is very good at this. And if you are just attentive with his discussion, then you can learn a lot. Get the point? Okay, so like a number around recuperating meaning recovery. Okay, your first identification, it starts with the same re during your memorization. Okay, recuperating, recovery, and then healed. Okay, healed, completely healed. Okay, that's two only. Then you can find another terms, but the main point really is recovery, or you are healed. That's incorporating. Okay? Like that. You get the point. And then, oh, you are now recuperating from your cancer stage 1. Wow, thank you, Lord. Praise God. Congratulations. You know, I really prayed to you every night and day, but it was so blessful that God really answers our prayers. It's marvelous and it's very splendid. Wow. Okay, number 7, rudimentary. What do you mean by rudimentary? So R-U-D-I-M-E-N-T. It looks like cemetery in rhyming only, but rudimentary, meaning to say basic, okay, simple, initial, like that. Okay, meaning leveling is little bit minimum. Okay, that's what we mean of rudiment. Oh, you know, your learning is so rudimentary. I need to teach you about advanced vocabulary so that you will learn how to comprehend well if there are long passages that you may encounter in the books or encyclopedias or whatever. Okay, that's example. So, rubric. Rubric, I love this. You know, when I took my English examination, my international English examination, so, oh my gosh, there's a rubric. This is the first time I encountered just 2023 in my entire life, the word rubric. Okay? Imagine, okay, how many years I existed in this world, but only this year I encountered the word rubric. Okay, now, rubric means the main heading. Okay? Things like that, of your passage, of your story. Oh, what's the rubric of that story? You can see also the main point, what it deals with. It talks about the planets, it talks about the environment, so that's the rubric of your story. Okay, now, what's really confusing and surprising with this term, this also have another meaning, but it's not changing the part of speech, still noun. Because other words in the dictionary, if you can see the Oxford Dictionary, Cambridge, Webster, whatever, or in the word coach in the Google search. Sometimes I use the word coach in the Google search. Sometimes, if I don't have time anymore. Okay, things like that. So it's very not common. So it also contains rules and instructions for something to evaluate. So it's far from heading, right? So we need to say, you need to be careful how to apply in a sentence. There also meaning still a noun, not a verb. Others word will say verb, noun, adjective, and the meaning will change, right? For example, advice. There's also a noun. You can use also as a verb, like that. Okay, but here all are nouns, but different in meaning in one word. It looks like very strange. Another meaning also for this is really a scoring guide to evaluate the performance. See? It's very far from that two I mentioned a while ago, right? Scoring guide to evaluate the performance. Meaning criteria also. So you will say, ladies and gentlemen, the rubric of the singing contest will be, you can also apply because you are using that in a right way, is diction. Right? Because one of the definitions of rubric is scoring guide or criteria to evaluate the performance. Then you can also use rubric in that way when you are a host or MC in that particular program. Though it sounds really strange, but you can help also the audience because at the end of the program, they may surely 80% up or 70% they will research in the dictionary. Others, then, oh, it's correct really. So because there are people also are curious that if they cannot understand, they will research. Okay? There's also people like that. That's why, sure, after the program, they will research the words that came out from your mouth because that's not familiar, right? Okay, so like that. You get the point? So, a rating scale. At least it's very close to the scoring guide, the rating scale. And also indicator, also related to criteria, indicator. But at least we need to add, we need to maximize our definitions of rubric. Okay, like that. You get the point. Okay, the rubric of international English examination will be based on the scoring system from 1 to 9, like that. Okay, so it's correct grammar, rubric. Okay, things like that. Ruthless. What is ruthless? Okay, so to have wrath, you are weak. You don't have a very strong personality. I think you get the point. So, if it is ruthless, meaning the opposite, you are very powerful, you are very strong. So, once you are very powerful and very strong, okay, you are ferocious. You know, ferocious, meaning you are sometimes acting like wild, okay, savage, inhuman, barbaric, things like that, brutal, things like that. Because you cannot do these things if you are not strong. How you can become a brutal if you're not strong? It involves a lot of, immense physical pressure and immense physical forces. Okay? So it would be related. There are terms like that also. Some are related only, even though it's only related very far, but still it will be okay to make sense in the sentence. You get the point? It's not also necessary that it should be perfect to that particular. It's not also like that. As long as it's also related and it will be nice, then use it also. Okay. That's why English language is very broad. You'll never say that this rule will be applied entirely to be like this. No, it's not like that. It's not the same with math and science. This is exclusive for this. For example, if that is the law of motion, then it will be there in law of motion. It's not be in the another law. You get the point? So, but in English, somewhere along the way, you can have an excuse or exemption, but it's not meaning also that you out from the rules and rules of excessively, but at least. Okay, you get the point? So, munang English language is very tasky. You get the point? Tasky to learn. Okay, that's why most of the people will say English is easy because they focus themselves with grammar and structuring only. If they focus the whole framework kasi listening, reading, writing, speaking, so speaking will be a lot also know how to speak, but a lot also are very talkative, but somewhere along the way also is not good in listening. Okay, we also are not good in listening. I'm average only. Okay, got the point? I always answers very quickly. Things like that. So I try to improve this listening skills also sometimes. Okay, you get the point? So that's I think it's my eardrum that cannot really capture the exact words. Things like that. Okay, I'm not saying I'm poor in listening. Average lang compared to my writing, speaking, and reading. If I have to arrange, I am superior in speaking, second in writing, third in reading, fourth is listening. Though others also will say listening is very easy. Because they mean listening as hearing only. Hearing and listening are not the same. When you listen, you need to understand every word you heard. What is that all about? Meaning, the higher degree of hearing is listening. Okay, things like that. You say, I'm hearing music last night, like that. So it doesn't mean you listen fully. Okay, because that's low level. But the same in meaning, but low level in effect minor, things like that. Okay, when you hear something, you cannot easily remember. But if you listen to something, it's a requirement to remember something. Because listening is a higher degree or a higher form of hearing. You get the point? Things like that. You say, oh, last night I hear a sound. Then you say, what's that sound all about? I don't know. Because you're only hearing. If you say like this, last night I listened a sound. Like that. So what does sound all about? There's a chance you can answer because you really listen. You take extra attention. Things like that. You get the point? You listen carefully. Things like that. So that's the difference between listening versus hearing. Okay, but the same sense. Okay, the ear. Okay, you get the point. Things like that. Okay. Now, ruthless, barbaric, ferocious, inhuman, savage, wild, powerful, strong, robust, brave, like that. Okay, so you can really choose what words, but take note on your sentence utilization. Okay, but these are all synonyms. Okay, putrid. Okay, putrid. Oh my gosh, I see putrid yesterday in the wastewater pond. Because we analyzed the gaseous components of the particular confined space. Oh, there's a lot of putrid there. And it smells fetid. Like that, okay. What do you mean by putrid? It's a decaying plant and animal materials. Or decaying, organic materials. Or decaying matter. Okay, get the point? So matter and material can be interchangeably used in English. The same thing, huh? Decaying organic matter, decaying organic material, things like that. Okay, so if that is organic, that could be plants and animals. Why? Because it contains carbon and hydrogen. Again, let's change our perception that we mean of organic that only mean carbon and hydrogen. It's not like that. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and other things. If you say like that, that's only hydrocarbon. Okay, if you say carbon and hydrogen only. But if you say carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and the rest, that is organic. So you know how to differentiate what is really organic or not, right? Things like that. Now, if you mentioned no carbon in there, okay, that's simply inorganic. And the others will be there. You get the point? Things like that. So, ang atom identification is really the carbon. Because the hydrogen, the oxygen will be there also in inorganic. Right? So, our really basis of understanding will be, if there's no presence of carbon, then that could mean inorganic. And now you know, which is only carbon. You understand between organic and inorganic. You get the point? Things like that. Okay. So if you're studying, let's say if you're studying the synthesis of methane, example only in your scientific research, like that if you have a study, then you'll be funded by the government to produce methane in another source. That's why it's a scientific research, like that, okay? Now, you will have that. You get the point? You can say if it is inorganic or organic, like that. Okay, since methane have carbon, then that is organic. Right? So in that alone you can understand. You don't have to remember everything about the entire sentence. As long as you can understand like that, then bingo. Even if you modify 1,000 times, you can understand. You get the point? Things like that. Diva? Okay. Now, putrid. Oh, you understand already. Now, number 11, skeptical. What do you mean by skeptical? This is so strange. Oh, okay. Yes. There are few words in English language that even though you change the words, but a little bit only, but still the same in meaning. So I give you an example. Skeptical and skeptical are the same in meaning. If we change the K to C, that's also the same meaning. Another also. Inquiry I and inquiry E, the same meaning. To ask for an information. So inquiry I-N-Q-I-R-Y and inquiry E-N-Q-I-R-Y are just the same in meaning. Only the spelling had changed. So do not fight and argue because the other one is using the E and I. Actually the same spelling. Okay? The same meaning. Sometimes we will argue the spelling, right? But be careful. Go to the definition. Maybe it's just the same, different spelling, but the same meaning. You got the point? Things like that. And there's a lot only that I'm only emphasizing to you two. But there are others also the same. Okay, things like that. Okay, so being skeptical or skeptical, meaning you are subject to confusion, okay, or doubting a lot. You have a person, you are so skeptical. I mean, your personality is very doubting, confusing, things like that. Right? So questionable. So you will be easily obscured, meaning you cannot really detect his personality because it's really skeptical. Look at that point. Things like that. O, nakakaloka. Okay, number 12, candor. So, candor meaning this is the quality or the state of being frank, straightforward, and honest. So, 3. Oh, I love him because he's very candor. Things like that. You get the person. Honest. Not necessarily you have the 3. As long one of the 3 qualities you have it, you are already candor. That's what it means. Okay, candor, straightforward, honest. Okay, it could be also frank, candid, or bold. You know, this is it. You always apply bold in in the sexual pleasure, right? When a woman or a man remove the dress, but actually, bold term can be applied also in another way around. So he is very bold in his decision last night. Meaning to say frank, straightforward. So this is the another meaning of bold. Okay? So be careful also in using your word and somebody will say like that and you will laugh because the meaning of bold on what you understand is all about only the obscene scenario. Obscene meaning involves sexual pleasures like obscene, OBSCENE. It talks about the nudity, 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 obscene, like that, no, showing the flesh, so things like that. Okay, that belongs to bold. Okay, but another meaning also is frank, straightforward. Oh, I love your decision. You are really bold. And you will laugh at me because no, I'm not removing my dress. Okay, so English language is like this. You need to understand more. Okay, because there will be somewhat disagreement. That's why they will be fighting in social media. Because others cannot understand what they're trying to emphasize. Because the vocabulary is very limited. Because in social media, they attempt to use English, right? But we are not sure if they are really professionals all. Maybe they are just pretending to be professional or to be have good knowledge. They have the dictionary beside them. We don't know, right? And then since you can understand the way they construct, it looks like a little bit deeper. And somewhere in the second paragraph, it looks like a little bit silly. That it's not connected to the first paragraph. So you can judge initially. I'm not judging completely. You can judge initially. This not much. So you can predict. I think it's only pretending to become good in English, but actually it's not. You get the point? Hypocrite. You get the point? Trying to be like that even though they are not like that. Okay, things like that. So, that's candor. Callous. Callous. What do you mean by callous? You know, guys, I kept on giving the solicitation letters for my classmates before. My classmates in 1992 batch of Naga National High School. But you know, guys, they don't really give anything. I was sad, really. They don't have empathy to my grandfather who lost his life just 2 days ago. See, like that's so meaning. They are very callous. What do you mean by callous? Meaning to say, insensitive, no feelings, like that. Okay, no kind heart, things like that. Okay, cold-hearted, things like that. You get the point? So, unfeeling. Okay, unfeeling meaning you don't have the feeling. You get the point? Things like that, or insensitive. So this is all about being callous. Okay, even though you have, they still don't give, even though there's a lot from your pocket, and you are watching the boy is already dying, and you don't even help. You got the point? So they are callous. Okay, don't have the heart to help, or insensitive and feeling cold-hearted meaning doesn't want to help. Okay? Why it's being compared to the cold? Anybody can explain? Okay. Why it's being compared to the cold, not hot? We say cold-hearted. Heart, right? Heart. And it will become hearted because it became an adjective. Cold-hearted, meaning with dash on the center. Cold dash hearted. So cold dash hearted is not being kind, no feelings like that. Why cold is used, not hot? Supposedly, hot-hearted. Why no hot-hearted? Okay. Because being cold, the molecules are not very active in chemistry. Okay? But hot, the molecules are very hot in turbulent manner and vigorous manner. So being hot, you activated yourself. So the same as when you activated yourself, you help others. You have feelings. That's why you put the cold instead of hot. Okay, cold-hearted. You got the point now? Okay, so because others also will interpret why cold-hearted. The cold means too much because I very good because I love in a cold season. I can sleep well. There's no sweat coming, and cold is very good to drink. It's not like that, huh? Okay, got the point. Things like that. Because sometimes you may question, the way how we put that term, right? Get the point. Things like that. Number 14, callow. Wala is kalos. This is callow. So there's a W in the last pronunciation. Okay. So this is all about no experience. Okay. Beginner. And then first timer. Okay. Neophyte. And amateur. So these are all the same. Again. No experience or inexperience. So once it is inexperience or no experience, they are first timers, okay, neophytes, okay, beginners, things like that, and also unskillful because most of the first timers are unskillful initially. You get the point? So that's the meaning of callow. Oh, of applicants who are callow, they still need to have experience. Wow, I love it. They try their best to apply. Ganon. So because they are beginners, first timers to apply for a job. Okay. So amateur also. Okay. Being amateur, you don't have a lot of experience. That's why we have amateur singing contest. What it means, open to all contestants that don't have vast experience in singing. But they abuse the word. Because the organizers did not also understand what's the meaning of amateur. For example, if there's an amateur singing contest in your place, okay, and you keep on accepting winners of the Battle of Champions and also professional singers, you need your contest theme because your contest theme is amateur singing contest. And then why you accept the veterans or the seasoned singers and professional singers in the same? Meaning to say your English is very poor. You did not understand what the meaning of amateur. Amateur meaning don't have experience. First timers, beginners. Then, if you're accepting them, then change your title or theme of your program. You will just say, singing contest. And you are safe. So anybody can join, whether amateur, professional. So sometimes we need to be clever, the way how we put the title, the caption, things like that, okay? So these things cannot be taught in school, things like that. It's just common sense. You get the point? So we need to be reminded always that in a small thing, we need to be particular. You get the point? Things like that. Because it will reflect us, okay? It will shadow and echo and radiate who really we are. If our, our leveling of mental intelligence is poor. You get the point? If we keep on using wrong spelling, the grammar is not correct, like that. So it's not matching our, for example, you're a college graduate, then you always speak in a wrong grammar. So it looks like very disgusting, right? It looks like not parallel or not matching. You get the point? Because it could not be denied. You will be invited sometimes also in your place. Example, in your place, squatter area. There's no such engineer there because the place are poor. And then all of a sudden, somebody will invite you to become a judge, opening remarks, things like that. Okay, good luck kung binisaya, no problem. Things like that. Okay, so but I cannot explain further, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, now number 15, ostentatious. Okay, what is ostentatious all about? Oh my gosh, he's really ostentatious. I don't love because I will be affected by him. Things like that. So meaning to say, ostentatious. The purpose only is to make an impression like that, to be impressed like that. So once you do that, that is not your true colors. That is not your true strength. That is not your true culture. That is not the real you. You are faking your own colors. Things like that. Others will please you. So that's not natural, right? So you need to say you are ostentatious. In short, you are pretending or pretentious. That's what it means by ostentatious. Okay, he's really ostentatious, but no, in away from my back, he really despised me. But in front of me, he's very good. So you are ostentatious. That guy is ostentatious. He has an ostentatious personality because he is very good in front of you. When at your back, he will downgrade you. It looks like hypocrite also. Correct? Next. Okay. Now, we have blatant. Wow. What do you mean by blatant? Charara. Okay. So if you say blatant, so meaning to say you are strong. So if you are strong, so you are robust. Robust, very strong in your decision in life, so not changeable. Okay? These are blatant. Oh, you have a blatant character. So meaning to say you are really strong, fixed principle, things like not changeable, like that. Stick with the principle. You will not be easily changed just because of the pressure of other people, and you will change your personality. So this is the act of being blatant. You get the point? So meaning to say you are not shakeable. So unshakable. Meaning to say shakeable in terms of principles in life. You get the point? So and you are also not movable. So immovable. So movable in terms also with your principles, your concept in life. Okay, you get the point? Because the more you are immovable, so the more you are weak. So the more you are movable, you are strong. You get the point? Okay. Because you keep on moving. So how can you move every time if you are not strong? You get the point? Things like that. Nakakaloka. Okay. So, muna siya meaning sa blatant. Okay. Adamant. Adamant. Okay, like that adamant. Sama ng adamant. Somewhat related, being fixed in principle, things like that. Brave, consistent, tough, like that. So, it's gonna be like unshakable. You will never be shaken. Things like that. You are also unwavering. Unwavering decision meaning you have a straight decision. This is a term comparing to the wave of the sea. Now, if you go to the sea, there's a wave. The wave is keep on moving. There's no straight wave, right? So the wave action is very changeable. Low up. So since and meaning not. So meaning unwavering. So that's why if you are unwavering, you are not keep changing your principles in life. You have a strong decision. So it's also here at the map, unwavering. Okay, things like that. Okay, unshakable, things like that. And then you are really tough in your decision in life, things like that. Okay, what else? I need to introduce another difficult term in which you did not meet also, I think so. Resolute. Okay? Adamant is being resolute. R-E-S-O-L-U-T. So you say, how can you compare the solute there? Solute is only in the expression of the concentration in chemistry. solute, and solvent. Now, why re, solute? So you are trying to, in everything you see the words, you need to investigate by your mind if the words are difficult. But if the words are easy because you understand very basic and simple, no need to investigate in that way. What's this? What's this? Like, so you will have an inquiring mind, or let's say inquisitive mind. So if you have really an inquisitive mind, you are longing for knowledge. You want to learn. You get the point? Inquisitive. So a person who does a lot of inquisition, so having an inquisitive mind. So they are the people almost having inquiries all the time, asking questions. So why? Because why is the most intelligent question of all the W and H. Okay? What, where, who. The why is so special because it involves reasoning. Once you reason out, it involves comprehension, critical thinking, and analysis. You get the point? So, for example, if you try to justify, so you have a justification, you have your reasoning. So, of course, you have an inquisitive mind. Okay, get the point? Things like that. So, you have the character. It's easy for you to justify in that case. You get the point? Because there are things in life to be justified. You got the point, things like that, because not all of them saying you. So sometimes you need to justify. Oh no, it's not like that. Okay, you know what I mean. Okay, now we have palpable. Okay, what do you mean by palpable? There are two context definitions for this palpable. The first is being precise like that, being delicate, things like that. Delicate meaning. I think the Bisaya term for this is delicado, but delicate meaning is very precise, but very difficult to analyze, interpret, comprehend, and describe. That's why it is subject for delicate. It's not the same. It's not the same with delicacy, because delicacy is the food, things like that, whatever. Wala siya connection ang delicate. You got the point? There's no connection in the word delicacy. Okay. So delicate meaning, this is really something that is, the distinction, the difference, one over the other, in which it's very difficult for you to comprehend, to understand, to analyze, to interpret, and to describe. You get the point? Things like that. So this is, you have a palpable personality because last night, you are lost from our sight, and you said you need to finish the program, but then suddenly you are going home early. So you could have been inform us, because we know we are very protective to you, things like that. Okay, so it's gonna be palpable. Okay, another meaning also is being compliant. Okay, so being compliant, meaning to say being noticeable, being visible, things like that, or conspicuous. Okay, very noticeable, very visible, always seen, every time transparent, things like that. You get the point? It's palpable, So two meanings for this. It depends on how to use the sentence. Okay, we have number 19, prodigious. Okay, nakakaloka kang prodigious, no? Okay, because of his prodigious memory, he really won first prize in physics quiz bowl. What do you mean by prodigious? Okay, prodigious meaning colossal, vast, enormous, meaning big. Okay, prodigious memory meaning enormous memory, big memory, wide memory. Colossal is the strange term, right? COLOSSAL, colossal. Actually, there's a lot. If you're talking, we have also gigantic, things like that, mammoth, like that's hefty, plethora, huge, bulky, like that. There's a lot, but it's only closer, but we need to go for the most closer. For the it's gonna be colossal, ganon. You get the point. Vast. You get the point. Enormous, big or wide. Okay, things like that. Okay, bolster. Um, in order to increase your knowledge, because it looks like you are poor in science, then we need to bolster somebody to be with you in every day so that he can teach you how to learn the basic concepts in physics, how to calculate problem solving in chemistry. So, what's bolster? Meaning to support, to enhance, to boost, things like that. Because you are weak on a particular area, so somebody must be boosting you. Things like somebody will boast, support, like that, enhance, okay, augment your capability, things like whatever. So that's bolster. Okay, number 20, action verb, bolster. Number enthuse. To promote, kaloka. Okay, so actually influence means promote, advocate, okay, meaning to say you need to act as a promoter, things like promote kasi di ba? Promote or to encourage, promote, inspire, advocate, things like that. Also to persuade, things like that. It looks they are the same level, meaning to inspire, to promote, okay, to advocate, things like that, okay. So that's related to each other, okay, like that. Or to motivate, sorry, to motivate. Once you inspire, you motivate, okay, you promote, things like that, you inspire, things like that, okay. And then part of it is you are advocating, to advocate, okay, things like that. Okay, reprimand. Oh my gosh, I will reprimand you to be demoted in that particular position because you don't have the adequate knowledge and it looks like you are always incapacitated to do your job. Right? Incapacitated, I love it. Okay? You get the point. So meaning the formal way or the formal expression of this approval, meaning it can be done through other people, legally, officially, because it's part of the job, and then it's not really insulting to do that. Okay? For example, there's a deliberation of honor students, and they found out that this guy is not really good in character, like that, whatever. Then they try to put in a little bit lower position. Let's say from second honor, it will become sixth honor. This is common in high school, elementary. For example, if the students are very naughty, okay, and very restless, and then always cause harm to other students, even though how intelligent they are, how smart they are, this is a minus to their behavior and values, good manners and right conduct and the proper decorum inside the class, things like that. Okay, so instead having a high grade, it will become lower. So things like that. You get the point. So it is being reprimanded, and the teachers will say, the group of teachers say, I think we will put him down to 8th honor, 7th honor, because the personality is so bad. It always causes distraction and everything. You get the point? Things like that. So, formal expression or legal expression of disapproval. That is reprimand. Okay. And another big term also is to admonish. Okay. Oh, let's admonish. Nakakaloka. I like it, admonish. Right? Just like malice, garish. Okay, get the point. So, number 23, repercussion. No, repercussion. Repercussion. What do you mean by this? So, okay. The repercussion of the release of greenhouse gases is the weather is unpredictable. Things like that. So, meaning to say, this talking about the effect. Okay. Unintended consequence of an event or action, things like that. No, effect, it could be also the result. It could also be the byproduct. It could also be the implication. No, the implication of the so and so is this. Implication is just result, guys. Okay, you use that in your essay. It looks like very professional term. The implication of too much fancy foods are really deadly. Things like that, so meaning to say. Okay? And then also offshoot. This word offshoot, I can always remember this because I learned this in my high school. Okay, when I joined editorial writing contest, essay writing contest, things like that, and then I'm very always reading like that, blah, 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 so and so, and then oh really, and then like that plus the handouts they will give to us during coaching. There's a lot papers and then we read a lot, blah, 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 so on. So during coaching prior to the contest, okay, so offshoot is also a result, consequence, effect, like that, byproduct, implication, repercussion. It looks like the deep words will be repercussion, offshoot, implication, right? Okay, get the point. The same meaning. Okay, get the point. So like that. Okay, manifestation. What do you mean by manifestation? Meaning displaying or showing. This is the manifestation of too much hard work in the past. That's why we have this great pyramid of Giza, the tallest pyramid in the world, located in Egypt. Things like that. You get the point? So manifestation of their hard work, like showing, displaying, things like that. Okay? So that is repercussion. No, manifestation. Or to influence like that. So that's the meaning, manifestation. Okay? Okay. COVID-19 is the manifestation of exposing yourselves without following the health protocols. Okay, things like that. Somewhere also it's very difficult to define, but if you use that in a sentence, you can really understand, right? There are also words like that. Very difficult to define, to explain, but then when you use that in a sentence, you can understand what it means. You get the point? Okay. Number 25, disparity. Oh, nakakaloka. Now, take note with the root word. It looks like difficult, right? But the root word there is pair. Okay. Now, it will become disparity. Pair. Okay, meaning pair, going together or similar like that. So disparity means inequality, inequity, like that. There's no equality. Okay. So if there's no equality, okay, the pair will break, right? That's why this, because this meaning removal. You get the point? Things like that. DIS. You get the point? This is a prefix that denotes removal, negative, like that. Okay? You get the point? So, okay. Disparity, inequity, unequal, like that. You get the point? It's very understandable. Oh, this disparity of the rights between the old people and the young. Prostitute. I love this word talaga. It looks like prostitute, right? But destitute is another thing. Destitute meaning being needy. Needy. The more you need, the more you are poor. Okay, needy, poor, and then you are less privileged, so unprivileged. So you are less fortunate, so unfortunate. So you are less advantaged because you don't have the food, you don't have so you are also disadvantaged. Take that with letter D because it happened as a condition of that particular people. Okay, less privileged. Okay, unprivileged with D. Okay, things like that. Okay, these are all these teachings. So to make it short, poor. Okay, but we need only to maximize another synonym so that we can improve our vocab. Okay, get the point. So futile. Futile is nonsense. Talking without direction, talking a lot even though the sense are not really that lucrative or fruitful or productive, as long as they will talk without any sense. Okay, get the point. This is futile. So if you try to apply that in husband and wife, if the husband cannot bear a child to the woman, so it's impotent. Okay, the more you are impotent as a husband, you cannot have a child, right? So you defeat the purpose of productivity. Right. So you are impotent, meaning you are useless. Okay, so you are futile. Useless in the sense of reproduction, ha? On the other aspects, nakakaloka. Diba? Ganon. Now we go to turmoil. Turmoil meaning is a great disturbance. Okay, difficulty and uncertainty. Oh, because of turmoil, I did not pass the chemical engineer's licensure examination. You know, difficulty, uncertainty, disturbance in your studies, like that, whatever. Factors affecting for your failure. Okay, because that's the turmoil. Okay, the turmoil of success are vices, meaning the bad tasks, doing a lot of party, drinking alcoholic beverage, like that, illegal drugs, extortion, pickpocketing, selling the flesh, prostitute, like that, and everything the bad and the worst in the planet world could bring. So things like that. That's turmoil. Okay. Not only that, sometimes also we can say, sometimes the identity crisis will be also the turmoil to reach that particular position, because this position needs masculinity. And then the person is a little bit of gayish or feminine, but he is very intelligent, very smart, but the only thing, they want a masculine in decision making. Okay, so that's also a turmoil, his sexual orientation or sexual identity. But this kind of turmoil is not justifiable. This causes discrimination. You get the point? But again, it falls to the definition of turmoil for the discussion. Okay, so I'm saying sometimes it can be used as a turmoil for his advancement of his career path because of his gender. There's discrimination sometimes. You get the point? Things like that also. Okay. Though it's less nowadays because equal opportunity will be there, whether who you are, but there's still a lot. There's also few like that. Okay, get the point. So that's turmoil. Great disturbance, difficulty, and uncertainty. Once you are uncertain in everything, then you can never be successful because you are not sure. You are not certain. You are not confident. You get the point? So uncertainty, not stable in your decision making, principle in life. You know what turmoil. Now adroit. What do you mean by adroit? Actually, there's so many synonyms of adroit, and let's name it only for a few. Okay, we have the clever, intelligent, genius, smart, brilliant. Okay, and then subtle also. Okay, that's subtle. And prodigy. Prodigy also is being smart, but in a young age. But at least fall also there. You get the point? And we have also artful, skillful, craftful. Because once you have that, you use your brain to be like that. How can you become artful or creative? How can you become craftful if you are not good in your brain cells? It needs a lot of thinking before being creative. Being creative is craftful or artful. You get the point? Then skillful also. You get the point? So the more you are skilled a lot, then you are also having good decision making in your life. Things like that. You get the point? So it's totality. It's not all about the brain. It's all the total package between the mental and the physical. It means of being adroit. Okay? Things like that. And also sometimes adept. Okay, adept. And then erudite also. And also prudent. It took witty. So these are all about, being smart and everything. Because being smart is not only mean in the brain, it's also the actions you make, decisions you make. You get the point? So just like saying wise. But the wise word is being abused. Nowadays they will use that in another context. In corruption, like that, so that's not what it means here, but it's still considered in the leveling. Okay, it depends on how you manage the sentence, things like that. Okay, because not all wise are genius. They use their intelligence for doing bad. You get the point? So how you can be, this is the real intelligent. no mixture of bad impact, what I mean. That's why I said the word wise is being abused nowadays because others wise they're using another thing, scammer like that to cheat. Okay, because of their brain too much working like that, because of that they forget also the how to live in a moral in ethical, you know what I mean to say, standard in the society. You don't have to steal money from others or cheat like that, blah blah blah. So you know the point, because in that way in the first place you are not already a droid. It depends also on the sentence you use, no, because they're intelligent in graft and corruption. That's I told you. It depends on the utilization of your sentence. But in a normal circumstance, these terms I mentioned are positive. They are just negative in another way around. You get the point? Okay, things like that. You get the point. So enigmatic. Or enigmatic meaning difficult to interpret, difficult to understand, difficult to analyze, difficult to comprehend. Because enigmatic meaning you are very obscure in your decision, in your speaking, in your thinking, in your knowledge. Okay, so enigmatic, or let's say subject for ambiguity, ambiguous. Okay, got the point? So it looks like very sloppy, meaning unsystematic, in which there's a lot of interpretation that there's no specific understanding of a particular context. You get the point? So the more you have very too much interpretation, the more you cannot understand, right? What is really the meaning of that? You get the point? So things like that. Who really you are? Sometimes you in the morning you are like this, in the afternoon you are like this, you like this, like that. So that is ambiguity. You get the point? Ambiguous personality. Okay, so being obscure, right? So things like claro, things like that. Okay, you get the point? So enigmatic. Okay, so we have now 30 terminology and words. Then I hope you like it. You can comment down below in the comment section. Oh, wait. Okay. You can comment in the comment section, and then you can subscribe to the channel. I will be happy for that. Remember this, that Jesus loves us. Bye bye, God bless everybody. See you in my advanced vocab 5. Bye bye. Nakakalo. O, diba? Charil.